researcher to computer science at Sony Computer Science Lab, currently pursuing a PhD at University of Plymouth at Nuova. Eugenio Tisselli from Mexico.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for being here. Today I would like to talk about the research that I've been doing during this year. You're not going to listen to theoretical speeches. You're rather going to listen to what I've been doing. And of course I will have to reflect upon it later when the time comes. But for now, I would like to talk a little bit what I've been doing so far. So, this research involves, or at least for today, I want to frame it as the creation of a learning environment. For the past 8 years, I have been working in different projects involving communities around the world, specifically communities in the risk of social exclusion and mobile technologies as means of communication. So this particular research is a project that I have been doing in Tanzania, in the coastal region of Tanzania, together with farmers there. And the idea, the large idea of the project, is to work together with them to build a collaborative knowledge base, collaborative observation about the effects of climate change, and to use smartphones to record these observations, and a web page to gather and to systematize all of these observations. So maybe you know about all of the development projects that are happening in Africa. If you don't, well, there's a great effervescence there. I mean, if you only look at the projects that are being done right now, there are lots of them involving mobile phones, because we all know Africa is the place in the world where the usage of mobile technologies is growing quicker than anywhere else. So I made a study of all the projects that have to do with development and access to information in Africa, and they all reproduce a certain kind of model for the transmission of knowledge. We all know, or at least it has been talked about, that a key to coping with climate change is access to information. But this information, we have heard probably about projects with SMS messages, so that farmers can get advice via SMS, or they can get information about the prices of different crops, or they can get weather data. So the transmission of knowledge is coming from experts to the farmers. So I was considering, well, why don't we try to start a project in which the farmers themselves are the experts, and the farmer-held knowledge is made visible in some way, so that it can also be integrated with the expert knowledge. So the project that I have been doing this year, and that's still ongoing, is called Sauti ya Wakulima, which means the voice of the farmers in Swahili. And I would like to explain it through a couple of anecdotes, a couple of stories that have happened so far in the project. So this is Mr. Alisha Salum. He's one of the farmers in the group, Tanzania. And, well, he has a farm, and he participates together with this group. It's a group of 10 people, 5 men and 5 women. And each week they get together in an agricultural station in Chambezi, which is an area in the coastal region in Tanzania. And they use 2 smartphones equipped with a GPS module to record their observations about climate change and other things that are interesting to them. So since there are 10 people and just 2 smartphones, these smartphones change hands every week. So Mr. Alisha Salum, what he mostly does with the smartphone, he goes to other farms and interviews other farmers to know more about what they're doing, what their observations about climate change are and how they're coping with possible problems. So one day, Mr. Alicia went to a farm and he saw this woman running around in a rice field. This is a rice field, maybe, I don't know if you can see very clearly. You tell me. Well, this woman, she was running around the rice field and she was just waving her sweater like crazy. She was running around. So Mr. Alicia asked her, why was she running around the rice field? Why was she waving her sweater around? He used the mobile phone to take this picture and also to record her voice. And the woman said, well, I have grasshoppers in my rice. There is a plague of grasshoppers in my rice. And I don't have pesticides, I don't have any means to get rid of them. So the only way I can try to keep them away is running around and scaring them. So Mr. Alicia used a smartphone to take this picture, record the woman's voice, and upload everything to our webpage, which I will hopefully show you by the end of the talk. But this is Mr. Hamza, and Mr. Hamza is the coordinator of this group of farmers. So he's also an extension officer. Maybe you're not familiar with what an extension officer is, but it's basically a person that knows about agricultural practices, that even develops new agricultural practices, and works together with farmers to give them advice and to help them to grow their crops. So Mr. Hamza is the coordinator of Saudiya Wakulima. He works together with these farmers, and he has a laptop which is connected to the internet. So he looked at the picture that Mr. Alicia sent, and what he did, he took his motorcycle, he took a gallon of pesticide. Of course, you may be against pesticides, I am against pesticides, but in this case it was the difference between the woman losing her rice or getting rid of the grasshoppers. So he took his motorcycle and he went to this woman and, well, they got rid of the grasshoppers. I'd like to tell you another story. This is Mr. Haji Shabani. And Mr. Shabani, he was having trouble growing his maize. I mean, he was not doing it in the right way, but he didn't know what was wrong. I mean, the maize was just not growing properly. So one day, he's also one of the group of 10 farmers participating in the project.